How are you doing? You all right?
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. I'm just going to quickly pray and come back.
Sure.
You got Mubashir and the Sheikh here.
Sure.
Yeah, Bashir, ask if you want.
Mubashir.
No, this guy usually I have seen his question is quite skeptic on almost everything. Whatever I will say, he will say that he remains skeptic a lot. So if he's a Hindu, let me complete. So I don't know, Sheikh, if you have seen whenever he comes, he doesn't have a specific framework of what is morality and what is not. Everyone knows him. He's quite famous in the stream.
Right.
So I cannot discuss when he does not have a ground. For us, we have the scripture. So he does not have the scripture. He uses his own mind. So that is why you may ask him question if you need.
What's immoral? What represents immoral for you?
So I mean, I think last time we were discussing with you and I was telling you of all the. In fact, we were talking about Mahabharat last time. I told you a story from Mahabharat, and we were talking that morality is not a fixed set of rules. Morality, in fact, is a permanently shifting, permanently dynamic kind of a principle, whereby you have to judge for yourself what is apt for you at the moment. And in the Mahabharat story, yeah.
If you want to go but by yourself, what is moral for me may be immoral for you. What's immoral for you maybe. So that's why immorality needs to come from a source which is a supreme being.
In the Islamic tradition, yes. In the Hindu
not just in the Islamic, in Judeo-Christian,
in the Abrahamic tradition, yes. However, in the Hindu tradition, we would say your self, your conscious has to be trained, purified to a level where it becomes more and more open to how do I say better judgments, better day-to-day judgments.
Okay. So based on this, are the agoris moral or immoral?
So the agoris are a very, very advanced form of practice. I mean, the total number of agoris, if you consider, there wouldn't be more than maybe a few thousands.
It doesn't matter, but it doesn't matter. But their way to get moksha, is it moral or immoral?
No, it's not merely a way of getting moksha. The agoris don't practice it for moksha. They practice it for certain tantric practices, which gives them certain powers.
No, they do. They do practice. Mubashir, am I wrong or am I correct in saying that they practice?
To some extent, it is true that it is one of the ways to attain moksha.
Yeah.
But some Hindus will.
But moksha is not
wait. I want to quote one verse from the Quran to clear everything over here, Sheikh. You have this verse of the Quran which is repeated at least 3 or 4 times. That most of them, the disbelievers, follow nothing but inherited assumption or conjecture. So you talk to many Hindus, no one has one specific idea of what is good or what is bad.
Definitely.
So the verse of the Quran says that most of them follow nothing but conjecture and assumption. Certainly assumption can be of no avail against the truth. So we as Muslims, and in this verse is not repeated one. Let me complete. Wait.
Yes.
So this verse is not repeated one, but maybe 3 or 4 times if I have to check it. So many times God is saying that if you consider the Muslims, they have a grounded framework of what is good and what is evil. We know it. But for you, it depends on each person. One person versus this, one person versus that. And you do have a verse from the Gita as well. I can give you that assumption of being too much skepticism is bad.
Tell me the verse.
Okay, wait, let me give the verse. You may wait, I have to search for it.
So yeah, in fact I will Google it up if you want.
First I will have to know if you hold the Gita to be authoritative or it is skeptical. You will reject
all Hindu texts are authoritative. Various texts will be authoritative in various times. For example, somebody might follow a certain school of, let's say, Shakta tradition. So for him, Vaishnava and Shaivite books might not be primary, and somebody who's Shaivite, for him Vaishnava and Shakta books might not be primary. So
That
that's
is
how it
what
works.
I'm saying. You know, even in Muslims, you have different sect. I don't say no,
Yes.
but
Mhm.
and even in Hinduism, you have a lot of sect. But what's the
Yes.
difference is that when Hindus argue about something, they don't know what is the ultimate decision. If they rely on the scriptures
No,
themselves are fighting against each other. But for the
yeah,
Muslims,
I
when
think
we
a
refer to the scriptures, the scripture are not
lot of
contradicting each other.
lot of unknowledgeable people also turned up on the stream, and I've seen it. Even today, I was seeing a lot of people, without much of noise do pop up, and then all this kind of mishaps
So,
are happening.
so,
Yeah,
so, Prasun, do you
yeah.
believe that Shakti is the cause of the entire creation?
Yes. So as I was telling, in fact, I was earlier had been telling. There's a saying that
No,
Shiva.
wait, Prasun.
Yeah.
Look, I'm an old man, so be lenient with me.
Okay.
Is Shakti the cause of all the creation? All the creation came from Shakti. Is that true?
So there's a play between Purush and Prakriti. Okay, I'll explain to you gradually.
Prakriti is the
Female, the female
super
aspect.
creation, superior creation, isn't it?
No, pre-creation. So Shakti is the female energy, as we say, the female energy.
Yeah. But Prakriti, is superior and Kriti is creation, isn't it?
No. Prakriti means pre-existing, which means it's already existing before you. So let's say nature is called Prakriti in Hindi or in Sanskrit.
Okay.
Nature is called Prakriti. But when we're talking in the spiritual realm, we are talking about a pre-existing set of things before even our nature is formed, right? So our nature is Earth, space, sun, moon, galaxy, Milky Way. These are parts of Prakriti. But even before that, there has to be a certain Prakriti or a certain latent cause, which which gives rise to the universe.
So do you think that Shakti is the creator of Vishnu and Shiva and Krishna and
No, that's not what it is. So Shiva and Shakti, or Shiva, of course, I mean, in the Shaivite tradition, they say Shiva and Shakti, but Purush and Prakriti, which is a more neutral way of saying it. So that is the interplay of two factors. Purush as in the intent cause that created the universe, and Prakriti is the latent set of conditions based upon which the universe was formed. In Hinduism, we believe in cause and effect. Okay. So
for you, gods are created?
No. Gods, the demigods you say, those are later. You can say those are the later additions. But
no, is Shiva a god or no?
So Shiva is the supreme, or the demigod, the devatas. Shiva is the senior god, the senior deity. Senior.
So he is created, yeah.
Not create. So creation. Okay. So the creation is not. How do I say? Separate from the creator.
Was she created or not?
So these are the primordial, the gods and goddesses. The devis and devatas are all forces of nature, which are created.
Hang on. Did Parvati create Makali or no?
Yeah, I mean, as per the no, hold on. Which Purana are we talking about? I mean, I might skip my.
Is Makali a goddess or not?
Yes, she's a deity. Yeah.
So which means deities are created in Hinduism.
Deities are, I mean, yes, new deities are born at times. For example, Durga herself was created. Durga.
Okay. So as an intelligent person, and I take you to be one, as an intellectual, and I take you to be one, can a supreme being be created?
So when we say supreme being, right? The supreme being cannot be fathomed.
The ultimate entity.
Yeah. So the ultimate entity is not something that we can fathom. We cannot judge him through our faculties, or him or it. We cannot judge it through our faculties.
Yes.
We can only judge through our senses. So what we can judge through our senses are forces of nature, elements of nature.
Yeah, but nature itself, it's created, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's there are various forces. I'm not about physical nature. I'm not about gross nature. Like this is physical gross nature, and the world around you, trees, mountains. This is gross nature. Even sun or galaxy, Milky Way, and Neptune, Jupiter. That's gross nature. Now the subtle, as you go more and more subtle, there has to be certain subtle forces which created all of this. right? So those are the things that we talk about. That those are the kind of forces of nature that we're talking about. So in fact, all the Puranic stories that you hear, the Puranas, whatever it talks about, these are forces of nature preceding, creation, or leading to creation. I mean, of course, the Ramayana and Mahabharata are talking about human terms. We are talking about that is why they're called itihas. But others, they are preceding our human level of existence. So gradually, they're reaching the human level of existence. But if you look at, for example, something like Samudra Manthan, the divine contest where the deities and the Rakshasas were on opposite sides, and they took a snake and they churned the ocean for a lot of things to come out. So that is a primordial creation story. Those are not in our times. Those are way beyond human creation. So
So what do you think about Navratri? Do you think that it's Navratri? Do you think that it's cultural or religious?
both. So in Indian traditions, the deity is not important. The dates are important in the Indian way of celebrating things. So our calendar is based on the movement of the sun and the moon. Like in Islam, the calendar is based on moon.
Lunar calendar. Yeah.
And the Christian is based on the sun. The Gregorian calendar is based on the sun.
Yes.
So in Hinduism, our calendar is based on the months are based on the moon, but the year is based on the sun.
Yeah,
so
okay.
It's a combination of both. So all our celebrations are celebration of nature. So right now, what the phase is right now, the next 9 days, which you will see, is the constellation moving into a certain way where the weather.
Yeah,
is
but when
changing.
you say our celebration, like if you remember when we talked about Ganesh
Yes.
Parvati, that has nothing to do with the moon.
No. Dates are calculated that way. Our dates are calculated by the movement of the moon and the sun and those kind of things. But our measurement is in terms of natural forces. So whatever gods and goddesses or deities that you see, these are all natural forces. Like Durga is a certain natural force, Kali is a certain natural force, Ganpati is a certain natural force. These are all natural forces that are represented, and there's an interplay of these deities that we consider it to be our out of which we be experiencing the world.
But at the end of the day, do you think that gods can perish and be created? Do you think that gods can perish and be created?
You see natural forces perishing and being created all the time, don't you?
So, Sheikh, the misunderstanding between people who follow the tradition from Ibrahim alayhi salam onwards is that we believe in one supreme God. The Hindus, like Prashun, they believe there are multiple manifestations of these gods. Okay, and some of them are demigods who can die, who can be born. Yes, but they are not supreme.
Okay.
So that's the reason we need to distinguish between monotheism and polytheism, how
Yes.
they interpret what the term God is, because the term God is very generic.
But that's what
remember the early discussions we had with Prashun, and
but I'm totally enjoying the questions from the Sheikh because he's asking very innocent and very I like his questions.
Yeah,
so,
but the Sheikh said, he's taken by the hand. So inshallah, we all learn like this way. So we need to this is a problem that even the Christians have when they try to have a discussion with the Hindus, because they assume their God, the term God, it's synonymous to the term God the Hindus use.
Yes.
So when the Hindus use the term God, it can mean several different things.
Yes.
When we use the term God, it can only mean one thing.
Yeah, that's where I was
that's where
lost with. That's where I was lost with Prashun, and I wanted to.
No. I was coming to that gradually. We would come I knew this would come, but
thank you.
You jumped at that.
Prashun usually likes to make jalebis first before he comes to the point. He loves his jalebis.
Hashim, I had one verse for Prashun. In fact, whenever I have seen when he comes on live stream, he's always skeptical. Every time he's skeptical. So I had one verse of the
uses
Gita.
his philosophical arguments.
Yeah, so I had one verse. I need. In fact, I have two verses. One day he was saying that there's no good, no evil. It depends on you. So I had one Gita verse, but see this one. If you want, you can just how can I say it? You can just okay. Oh, okay. So in the Gita, chapter 18, it says verse 30 to 32. O son of Prata, O son of Partha. It means Arjun. O son of Bharata. that understanding by which one knows what should be done and what should not be done, what is to be feared and what is not to be feared, what is binding and what is liberating, that is in the mode of goodness. So when you have a clear distinction of what is good, what is bad, what is to be feared, what is not to be feared, what is to be done, what is not to be done, that thing, that belief is to be known in the mode of goodness. That understanding which cannot distinguish between religion and irreligion, between action and what should be done and action that what should not be done, is in the mode of passion. So you are passionate, you are in the mode of passion, so you don't know what should be done, what should not be done. That suits your person because you should usually you don't know what should be done and what should not be done. And
No,
Muslims
no,
are
no.
on the mode of goodness because they have a clear distinction what should be done and what should not be done. And then
We
the
know.
verse
Right,
continues.
guys, I want to bring us back to the topic. So let's
Yeah.
discuss
Okay.
Navratri because Prashant, I don't know, you do you actually believe when they use Ma Kali and Durga and Shakti Ma and all this, what does that mean to you? Are they like metaphoric terms or they are
Of course,
actually
of course,
literal?
all our deities, of course, metaphoric terms. They are representing various forces of nature. But
Okay.
when we're talking about the female forces, the female
Sorry,
forces.
sorry. I need to understand this because you keep you keep repeating nature, nature, nature.
Yes.
What do you mean? Do you mean the nature as in the nature of the deity, or do you mean nature as in the
Okay.
surrounding?
Let me explain it to you, Sheikh, without the jalebis.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, Prasun, but I had to use that. I
Okay.
couldn't
Fine.
resist. So he mentioned Prakriti and Purusha. Okay, now
Yeah.
Prakriti is basically matter. Purusha, consciousness.
Consciousness.
See how easy that was, Prasun? Okay.
Hashim, you learned it. I
I
mean,
don't know why you
you
make so
really,
many jalebis. I don't
you
understand.
really picked it up, Hashim, and at least
So,
so that.
so like for example, air, water, fire. These are
Yes,
all
yes,
basically
yes, yes,
forms of
yes.
matter. And
Matter and then it's
consciousness, what's
consciousness.
consciousness?
Yes.
So the reason they say that two combinations. So here, Shiva represents the consciousness. His wife Parvati represents matter.
The
That's the
matter.
reason she was able to make Ganesha. So if you listen to our last stream, I don't know
Yeah.
if you Prasun, if
I
you
mean,
listen to it.
mashallah, mashallah, you have picked it up really well. Okay, so
You see,
yeah.
even though I like jalebis, but I
Okay.
take it with a,
Okay.
there's a limit to how much I can take.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. So yeah, remember the Parvati made Ganesha.
Made the Ganesha. Yeah.
She's able to make matter, and that's the reason she was able to. But then she wanted to make Ganesha into a conscious being, and
No, he
she
was a
then
conscious.
sought
He was,
the
he
help
was.
of
The help of Shiva. Yeah.
her husband. Yeah,
No,
and
no,
then
no.
only he became worshipable. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Ganesha.
Yes. Yes.
No. Ganesha was in the form of a boy who was beheaded, and then when he was replaced by an elephant,
The head of the elephant. Yeah.
yeah. So that's when he said,
But
I've become so
who made him? Who made that? That was Shiva that got the hair of the elephant and made
the
him
head of the
into.
elephant was brought by Shiva. Yes.
Yes.
The deity. Yeah. So then Ganesha asked him, I've become such a comical creature. I've become halfway here, neither there. So then Shiva gave him the boon that from now on you'll be worshipped before anything at all.
Yes.
Even before
Primary. He's the primary.
So
Worship.
let's get this straight. Would you consider Ganesha to be then metaphoric, or is like a literal sun?
Of course. All deities are, they're not physical beings, right? They're not. You can't touch and feel them in the, their realm, right? So you have to.
That's the irony. If you can't feel Parvati, she's material.
She is. I mean, material doesn't exist.
What do you mean material doesn't exist?
You ask a quantum physicist. Material doesn't exist by itself. Material is just
What are you made of?
vibrations.
What are you made of?
Vibrations.
So you are just vibrations.
Molecules are just vibrations.
Yeah, but molecules are material, right?
But material itself is vibration. Materials don't exist.
I'm not asking you what they do. I'm asking you their essence. It's material.
The material
matter.
of essence.
It's matter, bro. E is equal to mc square. You should know that by now.
So it's all energy. It's all. Anyway, I mean we're digressing now, and
I know energy itself.
Yeah.
Some materials, for example, they have between them the energy, and they have different forces between them. But that doesn't mean that it's not part of matter. All of this is part of the universe.
Right, right.
Okay, so anyway, you're right, we do digress, but many
Yeah.
Hindus will actually disagree with you for interpreting that goddesses as just metaphoric.